What's up, y'all? It's Glenn Fajota. I'm a commercial photographer, DP, based out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. And in this video, if we are interviewing someone, not a run and gun, pretty much every time we have to set up the camera on sticks, this case is coming with us. And yes, we do fly with it, and I'm gonna show you some things in here that where your mileage may vary, but let's take a look. Oh yeah, and also second, for all my old subscribers from like 10 years ago, welcome back, and all the new subscribers who found this channel, welcome. And if you can do me a big favor, I'm trying to regrow this channel back, so if you can hit like and subscribe and maybe share this video if you find something useful out of it. All right, so the case that I have here is the Pelican Air. It's the 1535. It's the 1510 version, but a little lighter weight, and it comes into play when you guys will see what's inside of this case. All right, so, and don't mind me, we just came off set, so things might be kind of jumbled in here, halfway charged, but let's take a deep dive into this case. In here, I have the old divider system from like 2007 from the older 1510 cases. I prefer the divider, like some of this doesn't even stick anymore, but I prefer this style of dividers because I can move it. Obviously, I used this in my camera case almost 10 years ago. Things change. So if I'm glued to like the foam, the pick and pluck version of it, and I would end up going through so many variations. And also the track pack system is nice too, but it's almost the same thing where I can pre-cut something, but I might change, or this mic might be a little longer and I have to recut the whole system. And that on that end, it's pretty pricey. So this is the divider system that I pretty much use on all my cases. Starting from the lid, we have XLR cables, male to female, a smaller pouch with just a bunch of USB-C to USB-C cables in here. And on this side, I have the handles for the monitors, which I'll get to. And I'll actually build out a monitor, actually 2 monitors here, so you can kind of see what's involved in this setup. So I'll leave that open. On the bottom part, are the pin cables to the D-tap cables to power the monitors. And on this skinny pocket, it's just an Anchor power block with 2 longer USB-C cables, USB-C to USB-C cables, just in case we need to top off any batteries for a long duration of interviews. All right, starting from the audio setup. And again, this is the case where we are interviewing one person, whether we are interviewing them in a location, or like more of like a podcast system. But every time we set up the camera on sticks, this case is coming with us. So for the audio section, and this covers, we have 2 larger mics, and this will go into the D handle of the C50 or the field recorder. So the first mic we have here is the Sennheiser MKE 600. We can use this mic running gun, but we can also use it on a shotgun setup. And this has a filter in, and then usually we don't ever use this, but it does come with the pop filter and the dead cat. We like this mic because it comes with an XLR to 3.5 audio jack, so we can put this on the hot shoe and just be ready to go. Here's a tube for that mic. Underneath that, or beside that, is the dead cat covering the older Rode NTG2 mic. Yes, this is almost as old as this case, and the audio coming out of it is still money. Still pristine, there's nothing wrong with it. It's, it sounds perfect, so we still use it to this day. I've got the mount on it, and obviously this is for the spigot that we use for the boom on a C-stand. In here, I have 2 DJI mics. This is the DJI Mic 2 Mini. I'm using a set right now. So this has 2 mics. We use this for backup. And then we also use this as another backup set. This is the newer DJI Mic three minis, or the threes. The big difference with this, it's still just has the same size factor, but it has internal recording and 32-bit float. So definitely good as a backup or even main mic setup. In here, we have some gaff tape. We usually just tape just the green LED light if this is the main mic. But most of the time, this is underneath a shirt, tucked away where we can't see the light anyways. But we still like to tape it up just in case the B cam is shooting at a side angle and we can kind of see it tucked underneath the shirt. So we use this gaff tape just to cover up the LED. Here's a cable, an extra strap. But this goes to the MKE 600. And underneath that is a Zoom H4n Pro. Again, this is an older version of a field recorder, but there's nothing wrong with it. It still runs perfectly. The audio out of it is pristine. So this would be our main mic audio setup running into the Rode NTG2 mic boomed overhead. So that goes here. That fits here. Oh, and to monitor audio off any cam or the field recorder, just some Tascam monitoring headphone, over-the-ear headphones that we can just kind of hear a better sound coming out of it. And these smaller Shure, it's kind of like over-the-ear, in-the-ear headphones. And what I'll do is I'll put a link to all this stuff just in case you missed it or you missed it in the captions. You can check it out for yourself down there. Are a couple of V-mount batteries. We got a couple of 99s and some 155s. Obviously we didn't get to use this, but let me see what this is. 51%. We just came off it was like a 6-hour shoot. This usually goes to each camera. Let me see. We've got the Sony MP larger batteries from Small Rig. We got 2 of these. I have 2 sets of these. As you can see, one is green and one is orange, and that is by design. Because I have 2 sets of monitors, and I'm using the Hollyland Pyro 7s. These are the 7-inch. Has SDI in and out and HDMI in and out. And the cameras we use, Canon Cinema Line, the Canon C50 and the R5C. HDMI is what we use here. And then we got 2 of these. So I can use this in a few different ways. So I'll leave these out. In this pocket, also the Hollyland transmitter that can transmit to this. And in here, just a couple of mounts. And then some, the different antennas, the stubby antennas, the shorter ones. And we did a shoot a couple of months. It was like a 20,000 square foot office building filled with cubicles. It was divided into sections, and I was running a monitor off this transmitter without the antennas, and we saw the feed perfectly fine. So we try not to put these antennas too, because it starts building out the rig and it gets kind of too big. But that stays in this corner. So here are different ways how I can build out this kit. So one monitor can go on the main camera or a B camera. But the way we mainly use these is this transmitter would go on the A cam. It would wirelessly transmit to the Pyro 7s, and that's what I like about these is these Hollyland Pyro 7s. They're a monitor, but they're also a receiver. But also they can transmit. So if I don't want to run this, I can have this on one camera, and this can be a director's camera, or a First AC's camera, or the gaffer's camera, or monitor that they can use. But that's mainly how we use this. I have this transmitter on here. This monitor would actually be with either the grip or gaffer. That way they can make live adjustments by looking at the monitor. And we'll have this like mounted on like a magic arm off the main key light. So they can kind of see, if it's on wheels, they can kind of see the live adjustments. And then this monitor would either go to the client or producer on set. And also another way we can do this whole setup with the whole Hollyland Pyro kind of family. We also have the Pyro 5, which is the 5-inch version. And that monitor can go to the makeup artist who is like around the corner or in another room, and they can kind of see on their side where if they need to step in and see and make any adjustments. So we have quite a few in this family that we can use the monitors any which way, whether we're transmitting or receiving. So let me show you how I would build it out for a director or a client. Oh yeah, in this last pocket, it's the lens hoods. For them, they do come with it with the Pyro 7s. They don't have them for the Pyro 5s, which I would mainly need it more for because that monitor is usually on the camera outside in whatever lighting. These monitors are usually used in a more controlled environment indoors. But yeah, it folds out just like this. Clips, 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 clips. There you go. All done. And then when you're not using it, there is enough bevel space where you can just kind of fold it and keep it on there. But I'm gonna show you how I build out the handles. And these do fit in here. There's 4 of them. We just kind of 69 it. And these have the side RE mounts. And these aren't from Hollyland. These are from Nitsy. And the reason why I chose these is because they're the same handle. So it's okay if you mix these up. They are the same handle, same design, but when you mount these, they still feel like perfect in the hand. One's not flipped. You can either hold it this way if you're holding it to the makeup artist or the gaffer, and it still feels perfect. And it isn't too big, and it's still lightweight. You can have it here. It has a rubber kind of coating on it. And you can also change the height of these with the Allen wrench that it comes with. So these are pretty cool. But this would be the monitor here that the producer would be using, or for the gaffer would have it quarter 20 to a magic arm mounted with a crab clamp on the main light stand. I hope you guys got something from this. And if you did, go ahead and hit like or subscribe or do both, And even better, if you can, share this video to a fellow filmmaker, DP, great producer. And if you're running a company looking for marketing, whether you need a small brand video or an internal instructional video, give us a shout. You can find us. We're part of the Brand Camp. It's almost like our business to business division of Glenn Fajota Photography, which I'll probably do another video, or you can check out the other videos on my background and how I got here. All right, peace. See y'all in the next video.